start again. It's a redskin.
All right, I have a public service announcement. You and I, we are literally in a whole simulated rat race. We are trapped inside of a advertising, just constantly attention-seeking conglomerate of just nothingness and just mind-numbing spend, 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 spend. Look at this, look at this, look at this type of society. And you need to break out. You need to escape. You need to pull away from all of this garbage. All of this You know what's so funny to me? There's a lot of things I want to talk about in this video. But the fact that they don't want you on your cell phone while you're driving, which I agree with, right? I agree. But yet they will, every 10 feet, there is a huge billboard, huge billboard, huge billboard. That is not the road. That is you still taking your eye off the road to look at advertising. The whole world is just like built upon you consuming advertisements and consuming content like a literal NPC looking at content and then being like, "Oh, I'm going to spend my money on this. I'm going to spend my money on this. And it just gets you further and further away from your goals, even if you have the money to spend. And if you don't have the money to spend, just further and further and further into debt. It is a trap. You are being trapped in this just revolving door of, if it's not an advertisement to make you spend money, it's just mindless, mind-numbing content. The whole streamer type of just content and like IRL and clip farming and all of that, it's just mind-numbing. It is mind-numbing. They want to keep you stupid. They want to keep you a wage slave. They want to make it, paint a picture like a career is the best thing you can do. Pick a career you love and work for it for 45 years. And once you do and put your time in, then you'll have a lump sum of money that you put away in retirement. But oh wait, that money you put away in retirement, we're going to tax you higher at that rate, that tax rate, than you would be when you were just working 40 years ago. But we didn't tell you that because you wanted to save. And if you just withdraw 30K and live off 30K a year, they're making you a literal wage slave. Now, I don't have anything against working a 9 to 5 or putting in your hours, because you need to do that. You need to have some sort of income, some sort of job, some sort of 9 to 5 in the beginning. Everyone has to. I have it myself as well. Okay? But stop getting trapped in this cycle of spending money on this new car, this new iPhone, this new clothes, these new whatever it is. Stop. It is keeping you poor. It is keeping you in this endless cycle of just making a little bit of money, consuming, making a little bit of money, consuming. All you need is like, even 1 million is doable. 1 million conservatively gets you like 50,000 a year, and that will cover your rent, your bills, and everything. 2 million, now you're at 100K if I'm taking 5% of all these, right? And $3 million stashed away gets you $150,000 at a 5% return, which is extremely conservative. You can get that in savings accounts right now. That's all you need. That's all you need to escape. But the more you keep spending, and the more you buy that new iPhone, you take that trip, you buy that new car, you buy you start renting too early, whatever it is, whatever that fix is that you can't stay away from, it's your fault because you're not controlling your mind to not buy, but it's the conglomerate of just advertising just in your face at all times. It is keeping you poor. It is just making sure you make enough money so you can spend it, but don't make enough money where you can escape. And that is literally the definition of wage slavery. And we are all in that right now, right? I mean, I don't know anyone else's situation. You might not be, but I'm in that as well, right? And you have to block it all out. I mean, YouTube Premium is like what, $18.99 a month. That is, I will pay $50, $100 a month on YouTube to just not be consumed and mind dumped with the advertisements every minute. All they want you to do is keep buying and keep buying and keep buying and keep consuming. That's all they want you to do to keep you where you are. And you put in your 45 years, you put in your best years of your life to contributing to the society in some way, and make sure it's something you're passionate in, because that's where you give the best amount of effort to society. And they convince you of all these things. You are a slave for 45 years because, let's say, at any of these companies, at any point, another grown man, another grown woman has the power to just be like, I'm gonna mess up your entire life, and you have no savings. We don't need you anymore. No more work for you. And then you're stressed, or you have to ask another man or another woman when you want to take a vacation with your kids because you don't have the free will, or you need the money, or they need to approve time off. I mean, it's a ridiculous concept. It's like you're telling me you go somewhere and another man or woman tells you when you can go eat lunch, when you can go to the bathroom, because from 8 to 9 to 5, or whatever the hours are, if you're a 10 to 7 worker, whatever it is, you are theirs. You're there to be a cog in the wheel and put in the time, make them a whole bunch of money, right? I mean, I'm in sales. Most sales quotas are like in the millions, and they pay you a sliver of that to do the work. You need to leverage your 9 to 5, leverage your career in whatever you're putting your efforts in the beginning. Save that money for your future. Save that money for a business you're going to start. Save that money to invest. Stop consuming everything. Stop wasting your time consuming mindless content. Stop wasting your time and your money purchasing things because an advertisement said it was the best this or the best that. Everything is going to be the best of the best of the best, and it's the new thing. It's a cycle. It is a complete, just utter, like, just, it is a cycle to keep you in the rat race. I am in the rat race too. I mean, I'm not speaking from a place of I escaped an authority or whatever, right? You are in the rat race and you need to escape. Otherwise, your whole life is you don't even have full control because you need an income. You need a wage. You need to save the money. I love, my favorite thing, I saw this the other day. It was, everyone talks about passive income this, but no one talks about having $3 million in the bank at 5%. I think they used analogy of like 8% in treasury bonds. That gets you $150,000 to $250,000 a year. I mean, that is pure financial freedom. When you have a rock, or just a stockpile of $3 million, and it's paying you every year $150,000, that $150,000 will cover your phone bill, your paid off car, your paid off house, but your more, if it's not paid off, your mortgage where you want to rent. It completely covers your entire lifestyle, your food, everything. And so every single day when you wake up, just think about the peace you will have when you can be like, whatever I want to do today, I can do. Whatever I want to think about. There's nothing more you can think. You're not stressing about a job. You're not thinking about money. You're not stressing about money. You're not stressing about anything. A family member gets sick, like, them being sick is what you're concerned about, not the medical bills, or not the expenses that go along with it, or whatever it is. It just takes a massive burden off you, and you have to see how much this social media and this just garbage content is just mind numbing you and keeping you in la la land. It is keeping you there. It is forcing you to, when you get off your 9 to 5, don't do anything else more productive. You need to consume this content. You need to just be dumbed down by all this content. And on top of that, on top of them dumbing you down with all this content, we're going to flood you with advertisers to make you spend all of the money you just made at your 9 to 5, so you have to go back tomorrow. You're never going to escape. You have to go back the next day. You have to go back the next year. You have to keep doing it for another 10 years because all you're doing is not creating anything, not creating a business that will cause you to own your own time and your own generational wealth. But at the same time, it's having you spend all of the money you're earning on mindless things. I mean, it's crazy how much YouTubers are just pumping advertising. I mean, it's just all it's. I mean, it's capitalism, and I'm not saying capitalism is wrong, right? Like that the best float to the top, and that's just how it works. But you have to be smart enough to not fall into the trap. You have to escape. You have to just not just be consumed by it all and get sucked into it. You cannot do it. And all these people creating these BS companies like a white label chocolate company or a like a whatever people are doing. I don't like it, there's so many of them and they're so BS. It's not even funny and it's just to get you to spend money because they know when you are mind numbed and you're just mindlessly consuming this content and the 10th time the advertisement comes up it's just like it's you eventually just buy and it gives you and they're causing you to get a dopamine hit from spending your money and purchasing it and making you feel better in the meanwhile while they're just keeping you poor and you have to keep working until you can no longer work. It's all a scam. It is all a scam. They try and paint it up to be this whole find a career you love and everyone does it and it's normal to go into debt, the credit card debt and auto debt and no one that's just the American way or the Western civilization way. It's not, well, it is unfortunately, but it doesn't have to be. Focus on yourself, focus on keeping your mind at peace, focus on not consuming so many things and not just focus on minimalism. Focus on the bare minimum necessities until I have enough money to live the life I want to live. And no one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you what to do is like the most. I mean, obviously there's governments and there's things you can't do, but being able to wake up every day and not have someone tell you you can't do this or you can't do that because you're tied to a wage or you're tied to whatever it is. I mean that is pure freedom, and I just hope every single one of you guys can experience that. But you won't be able to if you're stuck in this mindless loop of consuming mindless content and just spending all of your money on complete garbage. It will never happen if you don't. Just commit to refrain, like just harden your mind to just not. And if you have to spend money to get all those distractions out of your way, like you do premium or ad free on Netflix or whatever, right? I mean that's another issue, is you just keep consuming, so you shouldn't even be paying for that anyways. But if you are, right, get away from all of the advertising. It is crazy. And I go back to the example I put in the beginning of the video. They will not let you be on your phone, but they will constantly just bombard you. You look at when you're driving on a highway next time, how many billboards there are. If especially you live near like a city, how many billboard after billboard after billboard after billboard. It's all just advertising. Everything is advertising. Like they're just trying to get you to purchase every single time, and there's a new version of that product. They like Apple. You think they're coming out with the iPhone 16 this year? You don't think they have iPhones lined up until iPhone 25 and they just make small increments every year just to get you to buy and buy and buy and buy and buy? And I'm not saying anything's inherently wrong with that, because that's the American way. That's like the dream, is to create a business where you can create generational wealth and create jobs for people to start off on their career. Okay? Not saying there's anything wrong with that. But they're doing it to keep you poor. You are the product. You are literally the product when you're consuming this mindless content and consuming the advertising. You are the product. Okay? They're selling you products, but you are the product. They're pumping you into the system, giving you all these, you should do this and you should do that and you should purchase this, and just keeping you in the system. Escape the system. I believe in you. I'm in the system as well. Like, collectively, we need to be smarter and we need to escape. Otherwise, you'll look back at your life when you're 40 years old, 50 years old, and you've given 20, 30 years of your life. You've missed some of your kids' school events, some of your kids' practices, and just growing up because you were giving your life for a wage. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a wage. Everyone needs to start out that way. But stop mindlessly consuming the content and mindlessly consuming advertisements and falling for them and purchasing off of them because they're keeping you poor and they're keeping you in that cycle. You need to escape. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. This is just something I was thinking of this past week, and I just needed to get it out in a video. Happy 4th of July, because it's coming out on the 4th of July, if anyone watches this. And if no one watches this, that's fine too. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you're just not consuming mindless content, I do not care. And even if you are, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But I'll see you next Monday, 4 p.m. Central. Consistency is key. Harden your mind. Stop consuming and stop purchasing all this mindless junk. You don't need it. What you need is to set yourself up. Your future 10 years, 20 years down the road self will thank you tremendously for just not being an idiot with your money and just mindlessly spending it and just consuming and just numbing your brain. It is legitimately an epidemic. It like, you need to break free. And if you don't have this inner drive or this inner passion to do that, I don't know what to tell you, and this is probably not the channel for you. But you need to escape. Life is not about working and just getting a wage. It is about experiences and being free and helping other people and just spreading love. But when you're so consumed with the next best thing or the next promotion or the more influx, like you're never going to, it's always going to be a subpar life to the life of freedom and just love and doing whatever you want to do. So that's my TED Talk. See you guys next Monday, 4 p.m. Central. Have a good 4th of July.